Greetings, Commanders, and welcome on in to Supercruise News episode 48. I'm Zach, one of the community managers here on Elite Dangerous, and I'm also joined by Mr. Bruce Garrido. How are you today, Bruce?
Hello there, Zach. I'm doing really well. Thank you so much for having me on yet again. And 07 to everyone in the chat. Thank you all for joining us for yet another edition of the Supercruise News.
0707. Who we got? We got Karumba, 07. Bunny Claw, hello, hello. Quill Monkey says hello. Osric on YouTube, hello. Tal Cabot on YouTube, hello, hello. Zach and always Deadly Bruce. Bruce is already being attacked in this stream. Exclamation point Bruce in the chat already. It's just nice to see. We've got Elvis, hello. Fat Chinio on YouTube, hello. You got anyone on your side, Bruce?
Yeah, so many names. Obi-Wan, Tango, Bowtie, 07, Josh, we have the Burrs in, Alec Turner's in. Hello. Hello to everyone. Stormy, welcome. Shout out to our moderators. Lindiana Jones, nice name. Darwin, hello everyone. Psykid as well. 07s all around.
Yeah, welcome on in, everybody. So, as we mentioned on the outset, this is our Supercruise News show, which is our bi-weekly show where we discuss everything that's happening in the world of Elite Dangerous, whether that be things that are happening development-wise, things that are happening in the game, or things that you are doing in the community. We've got a bit of both for you today. So this is going to be one of our Supercruise Newses where we go over the top 20 issues that we've been doing for the past couple of months now. So we'll get to that very shortly. I just set the post live, so if you're a forum user, exclamation point issue report on the Twitch chat will head you over to the new issue report table so you can follow along with us. If you're on YouTube, if you head over to the news and bulletin section of the forum, you will find it there. Bruce, I see you smirking in the background. Has something caught your eye in the chat?
It has, but I don't really want to address it. Let's just keep going.
Right, let's just keep going. Yeah, I can see some people using issue report already. Yep, welcome on in. Welcome, Captain Flint. Hello, hello. What cool stuff have you guys got for us today? Says Orange Phoenix. Well, we've got the report on the issue tracker, and maybe a couple of other bits.
Yes. So for anyone who hasn't checked out one of these streams before or seen the forum posts where we address the top 20 issues, Zach, do you want to give a quick summary of what the stream is going to be and what we're sort of attempting to achieve with it?
Sure. So what we do is we gather these top 20 issues based on your votes on our issue tracker. So if you go into the issue tracker, and then basically what you can do is you can either submit your own issue, or you can upvote other issues. And what we do then is we grab the top 20 that you've submitted, the top 20 most common or most popular, I guess the bad way of saying it, but you know what I mean, chat. And then we basically give you an update on those top 20 things. What it doesn't mean is that these are the only 20 things that we're working on. It just means that these are the things that you've asked the most for an update about, and that's what we're going to be doing today. Right. So in that case, Bruce, should we head over to it, or have you got anything else you want to kick off with before we do?
Nothing else from me. I suggest we just hop right into it.
Sure. Okay. So let me move over to our content holder. There's a lot of stuff in the right. Have I missed something? Like, I've been off for a week, chat, and there's a lot of things in the chat about Bruce and steak. Is this the thing you wanted to avoid, Bruce? Am I bringing it up, or is this a different thing?
I mean, I wanted to avoid it because I don't want to go down a rabbit hole. I know how often we just get sidetracked, especially you and I.
Yeah,
I love our streams and I love our chats,
happen,
but I also want to separate the chaff from the serious business that we're trying to do.
Right.
And I don't understand who has said what, but all I'm seeing in the chat is strange comments about my carnivorousness and dietary habits, which I don't quite understand.
Right. Well, let's just
someone said something.
Let's just skip past it then, because I don't think we're going to get an answer, chat, because I don't know. I know as much as you, chat, to be honest, about this whole scenario. So let's just move on. Right. So this is our latest issue report. Like I said, exclamation point issue report will get you this page on the forums, so you can read along with us if you like. And what we're going to do is we're basically just going to read through it, Bruce. We'll just go one by one. I guess you can start with number one, and then we'll alternate, I guess.
I'm down for that. Yeah, alternating. So I'll go for the odd numbered issues.
Sure.
Tiling planetary features. So I think we touched on this one before. It's a huge piece of work. If we want to change the way planets are generated. It's something we're sort of talking about, and I think we've touched on before lightly. I think I don't think it's gone out yet, but we plan to have a statement to sort of explain this issue in a bit more detail sometime soon. So I'd keep an eye out for that. But for the time being, nothing else really to say on it for now. Just keep your ears to the ground, and you'll find out more soon.
Yep. Number 2 is the automated accounts are being used to influence the BGS and power plate. So this one we put a statement out, I believe, the week before last week. I'm actually just trying to find it in the forums now, chat, so I can post it. 1 second. But basically, we acknowledge that this should have been on the table. It was not on the table last month, but we agree it should be on the table, so now it is. And we are addressing that. Let me just try and find this, Bruce. Give me 1 second.
Sure. While Zach is looking, just for a bit more context. So if you haven't read the statement already, I'm trying to remember what exactly we said, but ultimately the reason it wasn't on the table before, despite being, I think it was at position 6 at the time in terms of votes, was the differentiation between confirmed issues on the table and ones which are not confirmed. And that's to do with us being able to reproduce them and that sort of thing. And obviously, this issue isn't a bug as such, which our QA team are going to reproduce and then mark. And it's as simple as, for not having that flag, it didn't come up on our table because we actually search and create this table, not just on top voted, but top voted confirmed issues. But yes, I would read the full statement, which Zach has kindly linked in the chats if you want to get more information on that.
Indeed. All right, number 3, Bruce, what have we got there?
Sure, anti-aliasing. So this one, as it says, is in progress. We've got some improvements coming in next update, update 8. But that won't be the end of the work on anti-aliasing. There is more coming longer term, not necessarily update 9, but in the future. So yes, a constant thing that we're trying to improve upon.
Yep. Number 4 is that the game hangs on exit sometimes. This is one that I know that dev are working on, and yeah, we've marked it as still under investigation. We don't actually have anything new in terms of detail on this one because it's probably going to be one of those things that when we fix it, it'll be fixed, and that's the end of it. But yeah, we are still working on that one. Number 5, Bruce.
Number 5, then, joystick buttons. Yeah, so this one, sorry, there's not much more to say, but for the time being, we're still looking at this. I think we mentioned before, there are other things that are higher priority for us at the moment. Apologies for anyone that this is affecting, but while we focus on performance and other things, this is going to fall behind them in the meantime. But yes, it is something we are still aware of and hopefully going to look at as soon as we can.
Number 6 was the severe performance problems that have been occurring since update 5. So the specific cause of the frame rate drops since update 5 has been identified, and that should be resolved in update 8. Obviously, there'll be more performance work happening after that. And it's also worth mentioning at this point, I guess, in the table that we've seen a lot of you asking about or having trouble with performance in settlements or conflict zones since update 7. And that is with dev as well. So yeah, we've heard that and we are feeding that back. So please do keep that feedback coming, especially if you can provide things like details on your system specs and DX diags and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you for that.
Shall we move on to number 7?
Yeah, I think so.
So nothing much new to say on this one. Still being discussed internally, so it's something that we're talking about. It says investigating, but the truth is we're sort of deliberating on the implications of exposing that kind of telemetry and seeing what's possible, whether we'd like to do it or not. It's not a simple issue, as before, still being determined. So when there is more for us to say on it, we will share.
Yep. Number 8, Dav's Hope not spawning materials. Pretty sure this one is fixed for update 8. We're just confirming internally with our QA team, but that one should be fully resolved in update 8.
Number 9?
That's the one.
Number 9, so Supercruise. I feel like I'm getting all of these ones where there's not much to say.
I did
Sorry
this on
about
purpose.
that. It's just the way it's fallen. Yeah, you gave me all the odd ones. Supercruise stuck at 0 time remaining. Yeah, so we know that this has been an issue for a while. Nothing really to say other than it's still being looked at for the time being. If there were a quicker fix, that would be ideal. And but unfortunately there's not. I think I've made an error there with the table. Actually, it says update 8, but it is not likely to be fixed for update 8 as far as I'm aware, unless something changes. So that probably should be TBC instead. So sorry about that one, folks. We'll share more on it when we have more to share.
No worries. Update number 10 is interdiction progress bars not visible. So this happened in update 7. This, I believe, has been fixed now. We're just trying to figure out the best time to roll that out. It will be out at the latest by update 8 for that one.
Number 11 then?
Yes, that's right.
Well, hey, so I got one that's fixed.
Nice.
Yay. So interdiction progress bars not visible. Yeah, I'll keep this one short and sweet. It seems like it's fixed.
I'm glad I did that one. I've already just done that one. You're on 11, which is also potentially fixed.
My Excel sheet is one number off because it's got the row saying the titles in it. Sorry, threw myself off there. This one is also fixed.
Yeah,
it's
still got
NPC fighter kills in conflict zones, counting towards the progression. Yes, this is also fixed and should be going in update 8.
Indeed. Nice. You got one, Bruce.
Yes.
Number 12, planet and moon orbit lines not visible in the FSS when in VR. This one is still under investigation. Unfortunately, I don't have any news to give you on that one at the minute. Sorry about that.
Okay, so I'm on system and galaxy map misalignment. Yeah, so this one is kind of a biggie, nothing to announce. So I'm back to this this rut of just being stuck in the ones with nothing to share. Unfortunately, when we've got more, we will. But as far as I understand it, this one is actually quite a biggie in terms of the changes it would require. So we are looking into it. And as I said, when we have details to give you, we'll make sure to do that.
Yep. Missions and rewards not sharing with the team. This one, the dev team are working on at the minute. We're looking towards update 8 for that. But as we always say with these are planned releases. They're all subject to change. But at the minute, we are working towards update 8 for that fix.
Thermal conduits then. So we know this one was, it's been kind of a hot one for a while, pun intended. So I've been speaking with the dev on that specifically for a little while, having some back and forth, and they believe it's been fixed in time for update 8, which is really good news. So just for a little bit of extra explanation on that one then, it seems like the issue actually largely came down to sort of a misunderstanding in terms of how they work. And that's not your guys' fault at all. I think it's actually to do with the way we've presented the information on thermal conduits. So hopefully the changes will better demonstrate how and when thermal conduit's going to activate, and also how much it's activating by. Obviously, it's going to scale with heat. So you can expect more details as a full explanation in the patch notes of update 8 when that fix goes in.
Yep. Number 16 is incorrect brightness / contrast adjustment depending on the angle between the camera ship and the star. So we believe that some of these issues seem related to system limitations, while others are genuine bugs. This will be worked on after performance and optimization is improved. So I wouldn't expect quick corrections on this one. This one is going to be a bit later down the line.
So discovered systems showing validating as the commander who discovered them then. So as far as I understand it, this is actually to do with Xbox specifically and the way that Xbox communicates with our systems to identify the gamer tags and the commander name and such. So we've identified what we think is the reason that's the cause of the issue, but it is still being worked on.
Yep. Number 18, the illumination of background planets is tied to player ship illumination. So this is similar to the one that I just mentioned. It may require further overhaul, so it's one that I wouldn't expect in the nearer future. But it is something that the dev team are aware of, and it is on our list.
Absolutely. Similarly with number 19, so the gamma balance being off, we've identified that it's a balancing issue rather than the gamma values themselves. I must admit, I don't understand all of the technicalities behind it, but I do know that it's going to be investigated once we've improved performance a bit more. So the same team that is looking at this kind of thing is currently working on performance, but will switch back to these kinds of issues once the high priority issue of optimization is better addressed.
Yep. And finally, number 20, we know that some of the Epic's Game Store commanders are having trouble with the CE API. Nothing really to give you an update on this one, unfortunately, but it's still under investigation on that front. So that's the table. That's the latest table. As you notice, a lot of new things are in here because as we, brought out update 7, which had a lot of the fixes that were in this top 20, we've then been able to add, obviously, a lot of new things that have risen up into the top 20 because we've taken things out. So hopefully you can see that things are moving. You can see the sort of progression as we work through the things that you're reporting, and then we get these new things in the top 20 that we can update you on. It's a nice little system we've got going, hopefully. What do you think, Bruce?
Yeah, definitely. I'm a big fan of it. And I think it's also worth mentioning, obviously, we had, since update 7, quite a few issues were fixed. And now we're sort of fresh off a new table with, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new issues in there.
I think so.
I don't know if I've added correctly. I think you're covering 3.
It's 6, I believe.
6 new issues. So hopefully, obviously towards the end of the last update cycle, we noticed that the statuses were actually mostly changing over to fixed. And now that we've got a fresher table, obviously a lot of them are still being investigated, but hopefully in a few weeks' time when we share this next, possibly shortly before update 8, or just after, we'll see a lot of fixed tags there in the status column.
Yep. We've got a question here, Bruce. Do we have the winners for the tourist beacon contest? Do you have any update on that? Have we gathered anything?
Yes. So thank you so much to everyone who entered. I think we had some, if I had to guess, at least a couple hundred entries, and it was very difficult to narrow them down into 50. I've sent over the winning systems and commander names over to Dev, who are just going through them, making sure all of the systems are correct, etc. But yes, we have the winners in. We should be announcing them, if not later this week, then early next. But ideally, before the end of the week, we'll announce and award the winners.
Nice. Cool. Any other questions in the chat?
I saw Obi-Wan asking about CQC. We still have a lot of love for CQC, especially Zac and I. We haven't done a CQC night for ages, have we? We should probably
if we have time today, we'll maybe lab around, but if not, we'll schedule in a CQC stream for sure.
But I know there's hunger for some CQC updates, and that's not just you guys, that's us as well. We really want to update CQC. When we have something to announce, we will make sure to let you know what's coming. But rest assured that we're keen for a lot of the same things that you CQC pilots are as well.
Yep. Will we be seeing any new details about the upcoming SRV in this stream? No details on that upcoming SRV in today's stream. Any update on when update 8 will drop? Well, yes, I can give you an update on that actually. So update 8 is currently planned for the week commencing the 18th of October. As usual, that is subject to change. That's subject to a lot of things that need to be done and processes that need to be ticked off. But we're currently aiming for the week commencing the 18th of October for update 8. If you could drive the new... Sorry, Bruce. I'm reading out a question. If you could drive the new SRV to work, would you? Now, we're not going to give anything away about this new SRV. My answer would be
probably not road legal. That's all I'm going to say.
No, probably not.
No. Probably not allowed.
No, it would be good fun though.
Well, what we can say is it's multi-crew, so Zac and I would be carpooling.
That's true, yeah. Save a bit of money there.
Save
a bit of money, especially in Cambridge. Any thanks, no worries, Tal Cabot. Any chance to drop the price of fleet carriers? No, I don't believe so. I don't think that's something that we've got in the pipeline. I think we're okay with that at the minute, Bruce. Unless you've picked up on anything.
I don't get the impression that internally we particularly want to reduce the price of fleet carriers. They are deliberately expensive. Personally, I kind of like them where they are. If we were to reduce the cost, we would also have to think about everyone who paid for the full 5 billion. Are they going to get reimbursed? I don't know. I think they're good where they are. Part of me wants to increase the price even, but that's something else.
Yeah. When will the results of the Elite Sports Stunt 2021 be shared? That should be in the next few weeks slash month. We're putting together a pretty fun stream, as we mentioned in the forum post. We are working on it, but it's one of those. I don't know if you saw the last Elite Sports stream chat, but they're certainly something. They require a bit more work to be put in than one of our usual streams. So they will. I can't give you an exact date, but it should be within the next few weeks. Is that fair to say, Bruce, or am I pushing the boat a little bit there? Am I stretching it?
I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
There you go. We'll go with that then. A few weeks. Any more questions?
So I see people asking questions about VR. We have no news for VR content, unfortunately. I think the question is something like, what are we doing for Odyssey with VR, if anything? As before, we mentioned that the VR experience is not really going to change. If it were, then we would announce. But what you have at the moment is pretty much how it is.
Mm-hmm. Elvis says, with so many people reporting problems with the BGS, is it being looked at? Yes, we are looking at the BGS in many ways. Is there any
always looking at the BGS?
Yes. Is there any plans for more Channel 4 news updates? Would love to see Sally doing one. Has Zac done one? Well, I've not done one. I don't know if there will be. Maybe. I mean, I'm sure. Knowing Arthur, he will not retire that. Like he will find a way to keep that alive. So I'm sure there will be more of that in the future. Metatron Cube says, "Is the game now in maintenance mode?" It is not. No. If you check out the development updates, you'll see a sort of brief skim of some of the things that are coming in the next few months to the game.
Yep, that's right. In case you missed it, we've got some exciting new content down the line, not just in update 8, but future updates as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, we've mentioned the SRB already, and if you want to hear about the others, I think !September should take you to it for our Twitch viewers. If you're on YouTube, then it's pinned in the news and bulletins section of the forums.
That is correct. Yeah, there's things like Megaship interiors coming soon. We've got emotes. We've got fleet carrier interiors, new SRV, etc., etc. Be very careful with when I list these things off. It's very it's a challenge, but we're doing.
You don't want to accidentally confirm anything. Yeah. All right. Any other questions from the chat?
Actually, chat, I'm interested, before we move on to some of the community stuff, or while we do, if you've made use of Salvation's new Gauss cannons, if you did manage to pick them up, let me know. What are your thoughts on them? Are you using them? Are you not using them? How do they compare? Let me know. When we'll see the continued story with Salvation. I can't give you an exact time on that because we don't want to spoil it, but things will keep moving, Bruce. Things will be keeping going with that story.
Yeah, so there's going to be a steady flow of stuff as time moves on. I can't really be more specific than that. Apologies for all the mystery and vagueness, but that kind of matches the tone of the story, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that people are interested in talking about who Salvation might be and whether they're trustworthy and all of the other people and groups involved in the narrative and their machinations. It's really nice to see.
Yeah. Micro T says, are sweatshirts now a mandatory part of FDev dress code? No, but they are mandatory in the UK today. Player Zero Live says, I did not get authorization to the Imbuni system. So if you do not have the Salvation Gauss cannons, etc. right now, you will have a chance to get them again later down the line. So you haven't missed out if you didn't take part previously. And on that same note, if you do have the permit and you can get to the megaship, you can also get the new version of Salvation's Shard Cannon, which was changed based on your feedback from the initial Shard Cannon. So how that works is the one that you already have will stay the same with the same stats, but if you do want to try out the new ones, you can go and get them from that megaship. Give that a whirl. Would it be possible to lower the time it takes to jump a carrier? Would it be possible? Maybe. Is it happening? Probably not. I believe we're quite happy with where that is at the minute.
Yeah, so I remember this being a hot topic of discussion around the time of fleet carrier launch, and I think we did adjust the jump times. So it was a conversation around the spool up time versus the cooldown time, and I think we kept the total similar, if not the same, but we offset the weighting by reducing the spool up time and equally increasing the cooldown, so that the total time between jumps stays the same, but you feel like you're waiting around less. Unless obviously you want to do back-to-back jumps over and over.
Yeah.
Obviously that's going to be restricted a bit. But I think we want to be very careful about making the overall time between jumps lower. Maybe there's room for that, but we'd have to take another look at it. What we want to avoid is just allowing people to travel vast distances too easily.
Yeah.
And too quickly.
Because I've seen a lot of people asking about sort of being able to set a fleet carrier to jump somewhere and then it sort of auto routes there. And while I do see the benefits to that, I also see the drawbacks in terms of it makes it a bit, non-effort easy. But it's certainly something that we can pass back, because I've seen a lot of that recently. But I think it falls under a similar bracket, to be honest.
I agree.
Rusttown says, "Can we please have personal weapons that can be modified?" Can you give a bit more detail, Rusttown? Because you can get your own weapons if you're talking about Odyssey, and then you can apply certain things to them to make them different.
Thomas Trono asks if we're working towards ship interiors with the fleet carrier interior release. No, nothing to announce regarding ship interiors. They are completely unrelated. Fleet carrier interiors doesn't really lay the groundwork or tee up ship interiors in any way, unfortunately.
Like attachments, like guns have. So I see what you mean, Rusttown. I would definitely check out, if you haven't already, engineering your weapons and seeing what you can get, because there are some pretty tasty things you can do to those weapons to make them either a lot more powerful or a lot more sort of mission specific. So I would definitely check that out for sure. Interdiction is broken. The full blue bar doesn't evade. So we know at the minute EXE that interdiction is not working properly since update 7. We do have a fix for that. That will be coming at the latest in update 8. There's a chance we can get it in before, but at the latest update 8. The carrier has a crew on it to do that jumping bit after our orders are given. Oh, you're talking about the automatic jumping. I see what you mean. I guess technically that's the case, but from a gameplay perspective, is it the best? That's the conversation we'll have to have. Can we trade Garrido stakes? I'm gonna have to catch up on this meme because I'm out. I feel so out of the loop right now.
So am I. I feel like I should know more about it. I have an inkling where this comes from, but I don't know what's been said.
Right.
So I'm reluctant to engage.
Right.
Visually changing weapons when modifying them, like a stability engineering upgrade, would add a foregrip, etc. I like that kind of suggestion. I'd also like to see more cosmetics for. I know we have weapon skins and stuff, but maybe even like stickers and tags and text as well could be nice.
Colin Ford says, "Are you aiming for approximately one update a month?" I mean, we're not. I wouldn't say we're aiming for that. We're doing what works best, but so far it has turned out around that way. I wouldn't say for sure that we're always going to stick to that, but right now it tends to be the case. What about an auction house for players? Says Jingles. What would you auction, Jingles? What would you be putting up for auction? I mean, I like the idea. If there would be stuff that you could auction, then it would make sense to auction it instead of just buy it. Right. Should we move on to some community stuff, Bruce? And we can keep asking questions if you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Move over. Right. So, as always, chat. Feel free to keep your questions coming while we go through some of this awesome community stuff. So, First things first, we have got this nice little fuel rats decal that's been put on the on Joely. Let me try and pronounce this right. Joelioto from Reddit. Petrol filler. Sally calls this a petrol filler door thing. Now, I actually don't know the name for this, but that is a good enough name, right?
You immediately know what is meant when
Yes.
those words are said.
Yes.
And if that's not the purpose of words, I don't know what is.
That's
So,
exactly what they're meant to do. So they did the job, right?
yes, I like this a lot. That's
Very cool.
a very cool. Yeah.
Darkside says, "What is petrol?" I don't know whether that's a topical joke or if you're from a different country. I don't know. Fuel is petrol in America. Do you use petrol?
It's a very good accidental topical joke if that's the case. Because in the UK we don't know what petrol is either anymore.
No,
It's all
that's
gone.
true. Yeah.
Fuel filler cap.
Yeah.
Yeah, well that's just boring.
That is boring. Gas, yeah, gas, fuel, however you call it, where you're from, whatever you fill your car with. Yeah, very nice.
Now I'm not suggesting, anyone graffitis their local petrol station. I'm just saying if I were to see the words "we have fuel and you don't," any questions written on my local BP petrol
Nice.
dispenser,
Good
I
reference.
would smirk for sure.
We could
But
do
I'm not
some
condoning any of that kind of thing.
could do some real life fuel rats in this country at the moment. Do they even exist?
Yeah, definitely.
Surely that exists, right? I mean,
What sort of
you
a
call your
Uber
repair company and they
service that
are
sends you a guy with a jerry can who just
yeah.
runs over and fills you up.
There you go, fuel rats. Maybe that's something you can start looking into. Branch out. Hi boy, nice.
TSNI Production says it's actually their job to name these things. They say it's boring, but that's actually fascinating.
That is
I'd be
fascinating.
interested to know what other items you have named. If you could list some off, that would be
Did you
great.
give us the official name for that TNSI?
So they said fuel filler flap,
Right.
triple F, or
Okay.
or fuel hatch.
Zach, have you never heard of the AA? Of course, I've heard of the AA, and other other places are available to get that sort of service from. But yeah, I mean, I've never felt like it's almost my fault if I've run out of fuel. Usually, it's usually my fault. So I don't know if they'd help me in that situation.
Well, that's true both in real life and in game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
But the fuel rats are too nice to shame anyone for running out of fuel. Actually, they will do the opposite. They will sort of explain about fuel scooping and which stars are appropriate and all of that stuff. So big shout out to the fuel rats and the work they do.
Indeed. All right, next up we've got this nice creation from Hayugat on Reddit, and they've made up their own constellations from this planet's surface, Bruce. I think it's a really neat idea, actually, that it'd be cool to see some more of these, actually. As you can see, I'll just read a couple. They've got the Bow constellation, the Great Anchor, Tsunami constellation. Really cool idea. I really like this.
I like that a lot. Although I'm not sure what Lapis pleading to God is. Maybe I'm not well read enough to understand the religious reference. But is it meant to be? It is a stick man, isn't it?
I believe it is a stick man. Yes. It looks like a stick man.
Of all of them, that one's sort of the most dubious to me.
You don't think that would fly in the real world?
I think they're stretching it a bit. I mean, the head shape is a bit off, and the arms are very long. I think the bow is great. I think the bow is my favorite, and the tsunami out of those are very good. But I think I have to draw the line at that one. The anchor just about gets a pass.
Yeah.
And I think the dipper has to get docked points as well because it's more of a bent spoon, really.
The crate, though, I see what they're doing with the crate.
But the tsunami is great, bow is great, and the crate I like as well. Yeah.
By the way, sorry about that. How you got? I enjoyed it. How you got?
I didn't enjoy them.
I'm only joking. Very well done.
I feel very neat. No, I'm definitely living up to like the mean persona that I've been, rightfully ascribed, it seems.
Yeah, for sure. All right, next up we've got this from Cursed Horus. This is the nice little flight stand setup they've got, Bruce. So it looks like they've taken. Is this a custom build, do you think, or is that like something you can just purchase? I'm trying to. There you go, chat. That's a better view of the actual table item. Either way, they've taken it down from the desk and they've made it so it's lower to the seat, which is quite nice.
Yeah, hard to tell if this is a sort of pre-made or custom piece of furniture. It's quite possible that it was made. I know various commanders have put together their own little furnitures and structures for Elite specifically, which is amazing, by the way. If so, very well done. And if not, still a nice setup.
Yep. Scooby Drew says very far away from the monitor. That is true, but the solution is just to buy a bigger monitor, Scooby Drew. So that problem can be solved. Pro Rock PL says it looks custom. I believe it probably is. By the way, very nice. Plus 10 for being so close to the radiator. Toasty, says Prince Sylvan. True. They've done well by putting the computer on the opposite side, though. Very good. Don't want that near the radiator. Yeah, very nice. Right. Next up, we have got some artwork from Girl Scout 88 TTV. This is a nice Fargoid piece of art. Looks like they're scanning something. Actually, the interesting point about this is that it was done on a mobile phone. It was painted on a mobile phone.
That's very impressive.
I can barely text on a mobile phone, so to be able to paint something like this is something.
Yeah, especially the small details around the Thargoid interceptor in the back there. That's don't know how they've done that or which application they've used.
I don't know actually. There's what's the one that everyone uses on an iPad? I can't remember. Someone in chat will know.
There's one called, I think it's called Procreate.
Yes, that's the one. That's the one. I'm assuming you can get that on mobile as well. It's probably that. By the way, very nice. Bros995 says when Elite Stunts videos? Probably, like I said, in the next few weeks / month. Could be a modern art entry, says Steve877. I agree. Purple spiky boys, indeed. Very nice. Okay, next up we've got we've got a shout out to a nice squadron, a nice group that you might want to join, Commander. So this is the Orion Trading Company. So they were originally founded, bit of backstory for you, on the 6th of October in 3306 to help stop the famine plaguing the TZ Arietis system. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. They were left bankrupt and the Federation refused to help them, even though they stopped the famine. They were forced to close down. They've since reopened independently and are looking for a new home, so you could help them out. The mission is to create a cluster of systems that are safe for new players and squadron members. And there'll be 2 sectors of the squadron. There'll be security and trade. So if either of those things are up your street, this might be one to join. They have a fun first squadron, so you're not locked into doing one thing, so you can jump between different parts. And it is worth mentioning that at the moment they are a PC-only squadron. If you do want to sign up or you don't want to join and have a look around, !Orion in the Twitch chat, ORION, will send you to the Discord channel. So you'll be able to join the Discord channel if you use that !
Someone pointed out that they like the slogan. I'm a big fan of that as well.
It is a good slogan. Very nice. All right, then. That is all we've got for community bits. We've got some stellar screenshots to go over, Bruce, before we end today's stream. So can you give us a quick explanation, Bruce, as always, as to what stellar screenshots is, etc., how to get involved?
Sure. So for anyone who is unaware or hasn't submitted screenshots to us before, every week we share screenshots that you have sent in from playing Elite Dangerous, or maybe while you're out exploring or just playing generally, you see a really nice opportunity and take a screenshot. So if you do, we would recommend you share them with us online. So we have threads that go on Twitter and Facebook every week. You can also submit them on the forums. And we gather all of those. So we post a thread every week where we share our favorites. We slap the hashtag Stellar Screenshots watermark on them, as well as your name. And then we feature them on streams like this, as well as in those threads. So that's it in a nutshell. Anyone who does get featured as a Stellar Screenshot will receive one of 3 exclusive paint jobs that you won't be able to earn anywhere else. Those are the acid, ice, and lava paint jobs for the ASP Explorer, I believe.
That's one.
Not really much else to say. I think that's kind of it. So yeah, ideally, if you're sharing them with us, the forums and those threads on Twitter and Facebook are the ideal place. But if you're going to post them elsewhere, I think hashtag Stellar Screenshots attached to your post will help us locate them. as well. Make sure to include your commander name and ideally have it in 16:9 for the aspect ratio if you want a chance to be selected.
Indeed. So just a couple of questions that came in while you were doing that. Somebody asked for the top 20 forum posts, exclamation point, issue report should give you that. And a lot of questions actually asking what this is in this image. So we do actually have Commander Darkside in the chat. Because I don't know about you, Bruce. I actually don't know what that is on the left-hand side of this image. Darkside, can you tell us?
I'm not sure either, but it's pretty terrifying.
It is. I mean, I like the ship choice. You've got a nice ship kit on there. I'm always a fan of people using the crate, as I've said many times. Will the Stellar Screenshot paints ever be made available for other ships? I don't think there's immediate plans, but I'm sure it's something that we can note down and consider in the future.
So apparently it's a dead Thargoid. That makes sense.
Is it? Right. It does make sense. Either way, yeah, Darkside, they're a dead Thargoid. Nice shot, though. Very nice. Very creepy.
Yeah, I love the background as well.
Yeah, that's true, actually. You don't really notice that straight away until... Because obviously your immediate attention is drawn to the left-hand side, but the background is very nice. Stellar Screenshot should be in a gallery in the game. Again, I do like that idea. It's always hard to get stuff like that in the game, but it's certainly a cool idea. I do like it.
Yes, I like that a lot, actually. So towards the end of last year, I think it was for the Christmas/New Year stream, we took all of the Stellar Screenshot winners and then sort of pitted them against each other. We judged them and came up with a short list of sort of the best Stellar Screenshots. I'm trying to remember the name of the commander who won the last one. It was Commander Jetsukai.
Yeah,
who
I've seen that picture.
It's actually my background on my work laptop, that image, because I just love it so much. I would like to maybe to do that again this year, and perhaps if we ask very nicely, we could get Dev to put those images as ads in the game somewhere.
Yeah,
but that's just an idea.
Yeah, I've got ideas. I'm sure you've all got ideas, chat, on how we could make a gallery in the game. I think that would be a cool idea. Let's see if we can look into that for sure. Commander Hatch says, any news on the event calendar thing? So that is probably looking to have in its first iteration, potentially to be up for around update 9 time, I reckon. But that could change. But it is still being worked on behind the scenes. Don't worry about that. I'm excited for that, to be fair. Very excited. Right, next up, we have got, let me find out, we got this one from Commander Domzilla2112. Very ominous, but very symmetrical shot, Bruce, in this one.
Yes, super symmetrical. This one's been lined up very beautifully, so well done to Domzilla. I'm liking the orange theme.
Very
and
nice.
The dual cannons at the top as well.
Very, very nice.
Hard points deployed.
Indeed. Next up, this one's from Commander Gudayan Khan. This is a very warm looking image, Bruce. The last one was also with a sun, with a star, but this one looks even hotter. Very nice shot though.
Yeah, I agree. Crate looking pretty good from that angle. I mean, it looks good from every angle, doesn't it? Really, both crates do. That was a Phantom, right? I think.
Yeah, I believe so. Like a Phantom. Someone in chat will correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks from this angle to be a Phantom.
DJ Englishman says dramatic. It is a dramatic shot. The angle is unusual, but that makes it even more interesting.
Looks great. Nice one day design. Very original. I want that in front of a white star. We'll go out and get it, Uber Mick. You'll be able to. Why don't you get in your crate Phantom and go and snap that photo? You can submit it to us as well. Will carrier owners be able to customize the interiors of their carriers in any way? Don't have any details right now on that front, but we are excited to share more on fleet carriers and their interiors as soon as possible. Next up, this one is from Commander Here's Glow. I really like this one, Bruce. Sally has noted this one as hope they remember which car park they're in, which is a great caption for this image. But either way, I always like these ones that focus on the sort of trails and the footprints and stuff. I don't know why. It's just something I enjoy.
Yes, I like this a lot. I wonder what the story is here. So obviously we have the tire tracks from an SRV,
Mm-hmm.
but then also the commander walking between them.
Yep.
So what's happened? Have they been ditched? Did someone who was in the multi-crew with them just take the SRV and go? Now they're on the long, slow
Mm-hmm.
walk to the next settlement.
Who knows?
What's going on?
Looking for petrol, says Quill Monkey.
Yeah, probably.
Very popular, ran out of fuel. Nice.
Run out of fuel, yeah.
Nice shot though. Here's Glow, very nicely done. Next up, this one is from Commander Hyperfinity. This one is one of these that I say every now and again, chat. This is a PR shot. This is a poster shot for the game. Like, if we put this image out, you probably wouldn't question it. So this is really well done from Commander Hyperfinity. Very nice.
Yeah, definitely. It's very cinematic with the sunrise coming up over the horizon. Good looking ship in the foreground.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very
classic.
nice. Very nice. Next up, this one's from Commander Gibbard, and they've done. You know, you mentioned an orange photo earlier, Bruce. This one takes that to the very next level. Really nice lighting effects going on here, and there must be a really bright star behind this one, behind the camera, or it's been, photoshopped, which is fine either way. But either way, it's a really nice shot.
Yeah, really cool. I like the way the elements in the image have been set up as well. So we've got a little bit of a Dutch angle going on.
Nice.
Obviously, the SRV is silhouetted in the foreground, but well, not entirely though. It's got some tone in the on the tires and some of the little angled parts, but largely silhouetted and nicely lined up with the. I mean, it is a star in the background, right?
No,
or is it not?
That's definitely a moon.
It's a planet.
Or a planet, yeah.
It's a moon, right?
Something is giving off that light. I'm just not sure where from.
It is just being reflected very
Yeah.
strongly. But yeah, the way that's lined up, despite being at a tilt, just really well organized and orchestrated shot.
Indeed. Well done, Commander Gibbard.
Very Halloweeny, very apt for the month of October.
It is. I'm sure you can expect many more of those kind of shots in the next few weeks. The chat, as Paul, as you probably already know, is an avid fan of Halloween, so expect more of that kind of thing. This one is also really nice, Bruce. This is from Commander Pasunen. Nice bit of purple in this one. A lot of different bright and vibrant colours in this week's edition. I'm liking it.
I'm sure Sally enjoys this one. I can see Sally in the chat. Hello. We also have Paul. Hello, both. Yes, very purple, or is it more of a violet? Hard to say.
I don't know. I'm colorblind, so I give it my best shot.
It's one of those two. But yes, very nicely composed as well.
Very nice. Well done, Commander Pasunen. And next up, we have this one from Commander Pafude. Sally has labelled this one Conda on a Wonder, which is a pretty good caption. Nice pink thrusters as well that Sally noticed. Nice. Again, it's a Dutch angle, Bruce, that they've got going on here.
Yes, it is. Yes, indeed.
Nice. Very nice. Chat liking that one. They've positioned, obviously, the sort of mountain there with the star behind it to capture the mountain peak. Very nice. Lovely. Lovely. Right, next up, this one is from Commander the Pro Rock PL. This is a really haunting image, I guess you should say, of what looks to be a Fargoid ship that has been destroyed, I imagine, by the looks of things.
Looks pretty dead, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's dead. They've got nice. I'm assuming they've used the ship just to the top of the picture off camera to give a bit of that, to give the lighting effect. I'm assuming that's what it is. But they've done a great job.
I think that's producing the light source at the top. This looks great. Also very Halloweeny in theme.
Yep. Paul says it's just resting. I guess it could be resting. Paul. It could be. All right, and last but not least this week, this one's from Commander Void Marshall. It looks like they've come across a nice little neutron star, and they're matching the thrusters of the. I think that's a Crate Mark II. But the angle is making me doubt it, but the engines look like a Crate Mark II. Right?
Yes, no, it is. It is.
But either way, very nice image, all matching color-wise. That sight, Bruce, is either very ominous or a lovely sight, depending on how confident you are in your piloting skills.
I always get the sort of, not as bad as a black hole, but I get a twinge of the space fear when I see a neutron star. I'm not sure why. There's just something so mighty about it that I find almost intimidating in a way.
Yeah, I get it.
Yes, good use of the Dutch angle with the ship there. I don't know if that's technically correct because it's not the
image itself.
The horizon in the background. It's just one of the elements. But yes, I do like the angle they've used, and having it in the foreground as well. It feels like we're sort of also falling towards the star, which is a cool effect. And obviously the colors are great. Really well done.
Very nice. Yeah, that is a wrap on this week's Stellar Screenshot. So thank you as always to everybody that submitted some nice screenshots. Whether you made it in or not to this week's selection, we appreciate them. We always spend time looking through them, and it's always great to look through them. So please do keep submitting those. And that, Bruce, brings us to the end of our scheduled content. So I guess we can stick around for a few minutes chat if you've got any further questions. Bruce, is there anything else that you wanted to mention, or are we all good on that front?
Nothing specifically, except perhaps what we have planned for Thursday, if we're ready or willing to share.
Sure. I'm 99% confident now. So the plan is, chat, that we're going to have another narrative lore stream on Thursday. So we're going to have a few guests with us on Thursday. And we're going to be talking through probably something more specific this time in terms of a subject. Potentially we'll talk about the Azimuth saga and go through people's opinions on that and theories and sort of lore crafting and facts. Not just facts, I guess. Opinion is fine too. So please do come along to that if you are interested in the lore or the Azimuth saga and you want to join in and have some discussion with us. That'll be good fun. It'll probably be like last time where me and Bruce sort of take a step back and allow the people that are really smart to do the talking for a change, and we'll just enjoy along with the rest of you chat. But we'll be there. We'll be present. Don't worry.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a lot of fun with the last one. Our esteemed guests did a great job discussing the various lore elements, but we did realize that we wanted to strike a balance because last time it was very open-ended, and that was great. It led to some really nice discussion and going down some lore rabbit holes, which we actually really wanted to encourage and we thoroughly enjoyed. But with this one, we thought maybe if we had a tad more structure, so we pick a theme, which in this case, is going to be the Azimuth saga specifically as a narrative storyline, then we might get some more pointed talking points to go over. So we're going to try things out, and if it continues to be popular, we may see more of these as time goes on.
Indeed, yeah. So that is the plan for Thursday. Thanks for reminding me, Bruce. I completely forgot to mention that. Augustus says you should have a lore stream at least once a month. Now that's bold, Augustus. Maybe. If they're super popular, we could consider it, but right now it's bold. Also, I know a lot of people asked about getting someone from the narrative team on for these streams. We do want to do that. It's just a case of finding availability and time because they are very busy people. So we will be keeping to trying to do that, chat, because I agree that would be really nice.
Commander Orange Phoenix wants to know who will be involved. Have we got confirmation from our guests yet, or is it too early?
I believe we've got confirmation. I believe so. I will announce it. This is subject to change, chat, so don't blame anyone if this doesn't go ahead. But the current guest lineup is Crispy Tater Tot. And then we've got two guests from the Galnet News Digest. We've got Commander Peter Wotherspoon and Beetlejude will be joining us. So they're the planned guests. As I said, we're 99% confident that it's going ahead. If it doesn't go ahead, we'll let you know. But that is the current plan for those guests. Vinny Lyman says, y'all hiring? Check out the careers, the frontier.co.uk/careers. We'll probably let you know if we are hiring. We are hiring. I just don't know specifically which roles at the minute.
We are, well, yeah, I think like most companies, we are always hiring something. But yes, if you want to find out specifically, head over to our careers page.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, that takes us to half past, Bruce. As a quick recap, everyone in chat, at the start of the stream, we went over the top 20 issues voted on the issue tracker. So if you missed that !issue report in the chat on Twitch, we'll give you that forum post so you can have a look for yourself. And we also gave a rough or planned date for update 8, which is currently scheduled for the week commencing the 18th of October. And as always, that is subject to change. We'll let you know either way. But that is the current plan. So yeah, thank you everybody for joining us. Bruce, any final words to sign off on today's stream?
Not really, other than to say thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to our mods for modding, and we hope you will join us on Thursday for the lore stream. If you are interested in the narrative and story of Elite Dangerous, then yeah, please do tune in at the usual time of 7 p.m. BST. And yeah, we'll see you there.
Indeed. All right then. So that's it for today's stream. Thank you everybody for joining us. Please stick around while we have a look for somebody to raid. If we do end up raiding someone, as always, please be kind and friendly, as we expect of everybody in the community. And yeah, until Thursday, we'll see you out in the black, Commanders. 07.
07, everyone. Bye-bye.